No, and by the way, and Artur Pawlowski, hold on. Let me just see where he is. Artur Pawlowski's still in jail, purportedly for violating the terms of his release. Let's see. I'm just going to give you the update on that because people think I'm avoiding it for whatever the reason. It's just that they're jailed. Hold on. Artur Pawlowski, February 9. What month are we in? News. 18. Oh, is this it? Okay, Street. Okay, I'll bring this one up. Calgary Herald. Here, hold on, people. Yeah, just so we can get this one out. I'm not avoiding this for any reason whatsoever. I've covered it a lot, and it's just an egregious injustice. The terms of his release were equally offensive from a constitutional perspective. Everyone remembers Pawlowski was released from jail, but the judge issued a variety of sanctions and conditions on his release, above and beyond tens of thousands of dollars in fines, which was excessive to begin with. The judge said Artur Pawlowski was compelled to say certain things when publicly speaking about his protest against COVID restrictions. Let me see your project variant. Where did I put it? Female definition. Bail hearing for church. Here we go. Okay. Share and close. I'm sorry, I'm not signing up for your stuff. Street church minister seeking release on bail despite being ordered detained by one judge. Here you go. This is getting to the... During his speech, Pawlowski referred to the blockade as our Alamo, a comment the Crown prosecutor called an overt threat to commit violence. Let that sink in, people. First of all, call me ignorant. I'm not exactly clear on what happened at the Alamo, except I don't know who could in their right mind take that as an overt call to violence. But hey, words can be violence when you want them to, and they can be metaphors when you also so choose to interpret them that way. Street church minister Artur Pawlowski will have to wait at least one more day to find out if he'll be freed from a Calgary jail cell. This is March 22nd. Court of Queen's Bench Justice Galen Kendall ordered Pawlowski's bail review before her to resume Wednesday. So we'll find out today, actually, afternoon, after lawyers were unable to complete evidence for her on Tuesday. The state hearing conducted virtually via WebEx with the same rules for all of this stuff, by the way, guys. If anybody's lucky enough to witness this or to view it, don't republish anything. Defense lawyer Sarah Miller was granted a publication ban on the proceedings. Well, don't worry about that, people. I should probably finish the sentences first. During Pawlowski's initial bail application on February 9, the defense did not seek a publication ban. Why would they why are they looking for publication bans? Okay, anyhow. At the time, Crown Prosecutor Stephen Johnson sought Pawlowski's detention pending trial over allegations he incited protesters of anti-COVID-19 health measures not to abandon a blockade at the Coutts International Border Crossing. I mean, this is Canada, people. This is Canada while we are lecturing Russia. And while if we had good moral standing, we would rightly be lecturing Russia. Even still, we might rightly be lecturing Russia or condemning their, potentially dysfunctional or corrupt judicial system, maybe. But when you lose the moral authority, it compromises the nation as a whole. And we're witnessing what happens when a nation legitimately loses its moral authority to lecture anyone else on the exact same things this country is currently doing, except potentially by degrees. What ends up happening is it's a destabilizing force for the world as a whole. Pawlowski told the crowd that millions of people had to... okay, well, maybe I don't want to read this and get in trouble. Yeah, he had to die to end world wars to get freedom. Pawlowski said that there were not enough RCMP officers to deal with them, and there was not enough army to deal with them. Okay, seems hyperbolic. Canada does not have the standard that the US has of the specific true threat. So some people have been warning me since 2016 that we don't have freedom of speech in Canada. No comment. I'm just going to continue reading this while weighing my words. Pawlowski, okay, but he's clearly, in the context of his speech, referring to the notion that there would be some sort of violence. Clearly. During his speech, Pawlowski referred to the blockade as our Alamo, a comment Johnson called an overt threat to commit violence. Of course. When you hear dog whistles, you hear them everywhere. The wind blows. You hear a dog whistle. A bird chirps. It's a dog whistle. Pawlowski, 48, faces criminal charges for breaching a release order to keep the peace and committing mischief by inciting others to block the lawful use of public property. He also faces charges under the Provincial Critical Infrastructures Defense Act. All right, so that's Pawlowski. So, while we, the true North, strong and free, lecture Russia, lecture North Korea, hey, I said it before, I'll say it again. Otto Warmbier had a trial before he was sentenced to 10 years hard labor. He had a trial. These people are being held in jail without even having had their trial yet. I mean, sure, his trial lasted 1 hour by a absolutely corrupt joke of a judicial system, but he had a trial. So I guess it had to be lawful. But meanwhile, in Canada, these people are being detained for extended periods of time for speech that some prosecutor says clearly was a call to violence. Wow. But then actual acts of violence, they get bail. Makes sense. Now is not the time, but there is more to be said about our previous disagreement on sentences. Okay, I don't know what that means. But thank you, forced name change. The non-coalition is because Ottawa police found the alleged arsonist and they are not related to the convoy. Oh, by the way, Matt Christensen just put out a great video. Watch it on Rumble, breaking that arson, which they attributed to the convoy, breaking it down. To the extent that the act was actually a legitimate act of arson in the first place, it had nothing to do with the convoy. Confirmed. 6 weeks later, don't expect any of the state-funded legacy media to report on that. So yeah, Matt Christensen put out a great one. And I said I would check in on the chat. So let's see what's going on the locals chat, people.